so this is my second pick for the back line, and I want to go further because these might sell out too. And if that happens, bam, I've got you. What's going on, Axie fam? Elijah here, back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about what I would recommend in this insane Axie market that we're a part of right now. Prices are through the roof. It can be difficult to discern what you should be investing in. I've thought about it quite a bit and was deciding on if I should list multiple teams and different options. But ultimately, when I think about the value that's out there right now, I've settled on one team composition that I truly think will take you the farthest that it can in terms of the current state of the game and for the price point, and that's going to be a double aqua build. This is a tried and true build. It's been successful season after season, and as I was looking at beasts and reptiles and birds and all the other options, in terms of getting something on a budget, I couldn't really find the type of meta that you would want for a reasonable price. But with aquas, I feel like that potential is still there. So I'm gonna start things off with our tank. Now, one thing I want to recommend, while the market is like this, I think that it's important to get fixtures almost of Axies, things that you know have longevity for sure, because you're having to pay quite a bit to get involved, and we don't know exactly where it's gonna go from here. So for instance, this Hot Butt tank is a staple. It's arguably the most well-rounded and best tank in the game. So of course, it's going to be my suggestion in terms of where you should be investing in your first Axie. I've covered this build many times before, so I'll give you like the 10-second breakdown. Essentially, Hot Butt turns off the opponent's mouth cards, which allows you to pass versus other tanks in the early game without, worrying about getting energy stolen from. And then we have classic Shield and Sirius for our own energy gain and tons of damage in Cactus. It is a really strong build. So that is my pick. It's 496 at the floor, okay? It's not a joke right now in Axie Infinity, all right? Like, you gotta be willing to go for it. But we also know that SLP price is through the roof, so that you're going to be earning back like way quicker than you would have been earning a couple months ago. So it's kind of all in this unison, like it's working together like an ecosystem as it should. As always, if you're not in love with the game, you can sell your Axies, and it won't be very hard given the current state of the market where things are just flying off the shelves. Moving on to our midliner, we've got this Sponge Aqua, very nice. For a pure one here, it's 0.24, 507, that's the floor, and then it gets a little steeper after this. It's like 530, 540 right now, but essentially, incredible card here in Sponge. 90 shield, a little bit of damage as well, but mainly it allows you that option to outplay your opponent in the mid game and brick wall when you know you're expecting a large wave of attacks. You can survive, get off tons of damage on your own, get a damage bonus from the card. And the Nemo is so essential for energy gain in the mid to late game, so you don't want to be spamming those in round 1 or 2. That's kind of a useless move. You're not even going to have enough cards to utilize all that energy. You want to hold your Nemos, get yourself set up for that mid to late game, stall the opponent, charge up, finish off with your backliner. It's just, a magnificent Axie, and it's been a staple at the very highest level in the game for the past few seasons. I'm talking Indez, AK. These guys are running this bad boy and crushing people with it. And the reason it's so attractive right now is that it's 507, right? And so my second runner-up to this as far as a midline would be this Aqua here, and it's actually more expensive right now and definitely an inferior build. So it's got the Babylonia instead of the Sponge, which offers us the 50 shield and allows us to get that durability in the mid game. Now it's harder to play because ideally you need to be holding both Babylonias and making sure that you have both available to put up 100 shield and serve that same purpose as the Sponge, whereas with the Sponge you already have 90 shield, so even one of those is going to be a huge help in terms of like surviving a critical round. All that being said, I think the Sponge is incredible value for where we're at the current state of things, and if you can go find one for $500 to $550, I would definitely recommend it. And if these sell out quickly, the Babylonia option here is still really good and will serve you well as you begin your Axie journey. So you can definitely go this route if needed. One thing I want to say about this video is that I am selecting only Axies that I feel like are liquid enough and you're going to be able to go out and find them on the market. I've talked about in previous videos that like deal hunting and finding very niche, cool Axies is a great way to save money, but for your first team, it's going to be really hard for you to do that because you're not really going to understand what's good and what isn't. So I'm trying to pick things that I know, okay, you guys can go out and find these and buy them. This one here is a little more on the niche side in terms of like $531 for this Blue Moon Koi Aqua is pretty disgusting. You're most likely not going to be able to find one at this price, but that's okay. I have multiple options lined up. Now, if these are out there, it would definitely be my choice. It's not a pure, okay, it's 54 speed, so it's slightly slower, but that's on par with like, you know, getting a Biden's backline Koi Aqua or another non-pure Aqua with a zero cost. So essentially, you're not really losing out on much there, and you're getting arguably the best zero cost that you can have on a backline Aqua in Cuckoo. If we take a look at the Koi Cuckoo page here, just the front page, we can see that the very floor, which is, you know, these are not good builds. They're double zero costs or weird backdoor cards that are ineffective. They're going for like 0.21, right? Here, this gorgeous Axie that I've selected is 0.25, 530 bucks. Now, around this price, you do have the option of the classic Cuckoo, Goldfish, Risky, and Koi build. This is all melee though. So if you ever end up facing Gravel Ant, you're gonna be completely dead in that situation most of the time. So it is a very viable build, but lacks that ranged card, which I think is essential as you climb the ranks. So for this 54 speed Aqua here with Blue Moon, that's the range card that we were looking to grab, and this one is 54 speed. It's not pure. If you want to go and get one anyway, they start to go at 0.31 for a little bit more money at a 57 speed variant. So definitely still doable, and as we can see, there's now quite a few of these here, 0.31, 0.32, and it's a magnificent backliner. So in theory, if I had to choose, this would be my team. This would be what I selected to run with in Arena at the most budget but value prices that I could find. And, you know, just to be clear, the reason why here is that Aquas are very well rounded in terms of their base stats, their damage output, and also they really crush a lot of the lower MMR meta, if you will, like Bird Beast combinations. They slaughter it. They've got Koi, which you play this to speed up in the round prior to the 1v1 with the bird, and your Aqua's going to go first in the next round and kill the bird. It's wonderful. So you're actually going to be able to chew through a lot of what you're going to be facing with relative ease once you get a grasp of the fundamentals. And beyond that, once you pass 2k MMR, it's still such a great build that if you master it, work hard at it, you can be a contender for some juicy AXS season rewards. Okay, so I said I was gonna give you guys options, right? Because you might not be able to find an affordable Blue Moon Cuckoo backline Aqua. That's all right. If you cannot, I'm gonna list a few more things that you can take notes of right now, write these skills down, and then go and look at them and look for them on the marketplace. Second best option here is gonna be a Biden's Aqua. Now again, we have the essential zero cost card that we need on a backline Aqua, and we have a ranged card in Shoal Star. We're covering our bases, okay? Now this zero cost doesn't give us the attack bonus, but hell, it's 50 free shield, and also it removes debuffs. So versus things like Double Yam, you can just get rid of those debuffs with Biden's. It's really a great card. And again, you've got that durability to survive and to outplay your opponent in 1v1 scenarios, speed up, go first, crush him in the following round. Super well-rounded, decent price here at 0.25 Ethereum. So this is my second pick for the backline, and I want to go further because these might sell out too. And if that happens, bam, I've got you. We're gonna get Square Teeth or Might Bite, zero cost. We're gonna look for high damage. The Koi, of course, we need that. And this doesn't offer as much utility in terms of the shield that Biden's and Cuckoo supply. But this little bad boy here does some nice damage. When you pair it with a card versus tanks, for example, it's gonna do like 70 or 80 damage, something around there with the bug damage bonus card. So there's definitely gonna be some matchups where this actually really helps you out. Like Reptiles, it helps helps to chip away at. Of course, if you're up against a backliner that's going to have a bunch of stun capabilities, you don't want to just spam these though, because you need to hold on to your 0 cost, but that's always going to be situational. And again, similar price from what we've seen in the previous selections. If all of these sell out, we've got you covered again with Pinsir, okay? Similar idea, 0 cost, bug card. So we're staying at that 54 speed on all of these. That's really important to remember, because if you drop below that, you're gonna need to play 2 kois to speed up past birds. 1 won't be enough. You'll actually need to stack it, and that can be really inconvenient as far as card draw. So no matter what, remember, you want a range card, you want a 0 cost, and you want your speed to be 54, so you only need to play 1 koi to be faster than birds. Now, you don't get a lot of damage with Pinsir, you get no shield anymore these days as well, but you actually get discards. But if you hold those and time them right, leading up to some 1v1s, you can really, throw your opponent off with their card draw. So that's nice utility, but essentially the biggest value is using the 0 cost to escape stuns so that you don't have to burn out too much energy when you're facing backliners that have Snail, Chomp, and so on and so forth. My final points here are going to be things to avoid, and this generally applies to both the midline and the backline Aqua. So when you're looking for that pick, you do not want Catfish on your midline Aqua. It's just not enough damage. Yeah, it heals you up, but that does not make up for the lack of damage. We're already sacrificing a bit of damage with Sponge, so do not pick up a midliner, or for the most part, a backliner with Catfish either. If we have a Sponge Aqua, we don't need Babylonia to go with it, because again, lacks some damage, has high shield, but now we're overloaded on shield. We don't need a 90 and a 50 and a 40 in this case, so do not go this route. And finally, let me see if I can find one. There we go. We never want to get a single anemone Aqua, okay? These have a place. The double anemone Aqua tank can work on some builds. This isn't one of them, and this isn't even a double anemone, it's a single one. So these are pitfalls that some players might make when they're looking for their build, is like getting one with Catfish, a single anemone, or something that makes the build lopsided, like the Sponge plus the Babylonia, resulting in too much shield. Other than those cards, everything else is pretty much fair game. I mean, Risky Fish or Randa, these are just great cards, high damage. You essentially are always looking for that 110 sort of standard Aqua damage to be involved, and you can kind of mix and match the rest without it costing you all that much. So if I add up my team here, it's going to come out to 0.728 Ethereum, around $1,500. All of the options I went to are going to bring you to right about this amount, between $1,500 and $1,600. And I would say in the current game of Axie Infinity, this is the most well-rounded and budget option in my opinion. Nothing said in this video was financial advice. I understand Axies are very expensive right now. I don't anticipate it always staying that way. So if it's too much of a stretch, hold off, wait to see what happens. The game's going to be around for a very long time, and the team wants to get more people involved, of course. So this will probably change. But again, this has just been a consistent build. If I had to choose with my own money and was coming in fresh, but I knew about the game, I would go this route. I'm actually gonna skip playing a game with the team this time because it's already a long video, and I've done this in quite a few other videos. So what I'll do is leave links in the description to past double Aqua builds where you get to see gameplay. I even have one with Indez where he's playing this exact team almost, and yeah, you can hear it from the horse's mouth in terms of the best way to play one of the strongest builds in the game. So that'll all be in the description. Thanks again for watching as always. I hope that this provided you with some options and some clarity in terms of, you know, what to get involved with. Let me know what you'd like to see next. If you're fixated on getting a Beast Bird combo and you want to see what options are available for that, let me know. Same thing with Beast Reptile perhaps, although reptiles are just so expensive right now, it's crazy. Yeah, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at ElijahCTG, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.